The Caliphal baths are an Islamic bathhouse or Arab baths complex in Cordoba, Spain. They are situated in the historic center, which was declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 1994. The complex was contiguous to the former Caliphal palaces of the Umayyads, whose inhabitants it served. Today, the baths have been partially reconstructed and are open as a museum. The baths were constructed in the 10th century under the reign of Caliph Alhakem II to serve the inhabitants of his palace. Bathhouses or hammams of this type were a common feature of Muslim cities across the Muslim world, serving both a social and religious purpose. They assisted Muslims in performance of ablutions, especially the full body ablutions or ghusl, which were required for certain situations. They also served the general purpose of hygiene as well as being a place for socialization. Their layout and function was modeled on the Roman bathhouses which preceded them and which had already been part of urban life in the region of generations. The Caliphal baths in the Cordoba consisted of the usual sequence of cold room, warm room, and hot room. After the fall of Umayyad Caliphate in Cordoba in 11th century, Cordoba came under the control of the Taifa, Kingdom of Seville. During this period, the Alcázar royal palace still served as the governor's residence in the city, and reception hall was added to the bath complex, still present in the reconstructed remains today. The Taifa kingdoms were soon conquered by Almoravids at the end of the same century, and they in turn were conquered by Almohads, who ruled over Al-Andalus until the early 13th century. The Almohads constructed another bathhouse attached to the original Caliphal complex, sharing some of the same facilities but with a new sequence of cold to hot rooms. Following the Christian conquest of the city in 1236, the baths continued to be used by the new Christian rulers, and a water basin were added to the more recent Almohad baths. In 1691, the remains of the baths were accidentally uncovered during the building work around the square. The baths were covered up again and were not uncovered again until 1903, when they were accidentally discovered during gardening work in the square. At this point, they were studied by a Spanish historian, Rafael Arellano, who dated them back to Al-Hakam's reign. The bath complex was then covered up yet again until 1961, when they were excavated and more thoroughly studied by archaeologists. Eventually, the remains were converted into a museum, which opened in 2006.
آیین و فرهنگ تو، جان کشتم مرا زلفان چنگ چنگ تو، آخ صد عشقم چشمان قشنگ تو، آخ صد عشقم چشمان قشنگ تو.